Hi there, it's Sam from poodles.co.uk. Thank you very much for joining me today. Today's project is this one, and I have been teasing this one for a couple of weeks now. It is one of my infamous twist and close boxes, but this one has got 10 sides to it. Yes, 10 sides, one box. And if you haven't seen one before, just look on my blog and search twist and close, and it's a box that this is how well it keeps itself closed. Doesn't want to open again. Like that, and you go like that, and it twists itself around to close. How gorgeous is that? We've got really funny light today, bit mad, so I'm not really sure what's going on. So I'm going to give you, I'm going to show you how to make it. I've stamped all over it. Trust me, it's very difficult to get DSP on 10 panels. It's frustrating to get it on 10 panels. So this one is cherry cobbler with basic black stamped on there, and then cherry cobbler onto here and basic black there. But I'm going to go slightly differently because Call Me Clover is a new in colour, and yes, you can buy them at the moment. You can buy all 5 of our in colours right now. And I thought, well, I'm going to match it with the cardstock. So the first thing you need, a piece of cardstock, 10.5 by 8 inches, which is 26 by 20 centimetres. Now, there are a lot of measurements. Please do not stress about writing them down. They will all be on my blog, so just watch. Okay, so let's get stamping. So the Woodwords stamp set, this was new last year to us, and it's really rather lovely. Let me just bring it onto camera while I get this stamp prepped on its block. So I've got an E-block right now. So yeah, it's really quite cute. I absolutely adore those flowers. So I'm just going to randomly stamp all over. And I don't think you need to worry too much because it's all going to be wibbly wibbly all over. You know, perfect repetition is not necessary. But I do quite like random stamping. And just as long as you turn your stamp around every now and again, you will get a varying pattern on it. Oh, I kind of boxed myself into a corner there, didn't I? Oh, and there again. But that's okay, we can fix it. It's random stamping after all. Okay, isn't that a gorgeous colour? So Call Me Clover is a real grass green. It's just divine. And I really love it. Okay, I just thought for a second I wasn't filming. I thought I forgot to press play. No, we're all good. Okay, so technically this is easier. Well, actually, I don't know whether it's easier in metric or imperial. It's actually quite simple in both. So we're going to start on the long side, and you're going to score every inch, 1, 2, 3, all the way through to 10, and in metric every 2.5 centimetres. So 2.5, 5, 7.5, so on. So 2, 4, no, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and so on. Now, I did consider when I was planning this one whether to film a bit, stop and complete sections, and then come back and show you, but I've decided that it's important for me that I show you every stage of it, so I'm not going to pause, I'm just going to do it all, so it might be a slightly longer video. Okay, so we've scored all the way along. Now what you need to do is make a little mark at the top, and that mark is going to come at every 1/2 inch all the way along, or every 1.25 centimetres. So I'm going to use the other end of my stylus and just a little mark, which I'm hoping you can see just there. So I'm going to mark all the way along at every 1/2 inch. So 1.25 centimetres, which is a bit of an awkward one because, you know, we work in centimetres and 1/2 centimetres, but there we go. Turn it to the right hand side, so where we've put the marks over that way, and score it at 2 inches and 6 inches, which is 5 and 15 centimetres. Okay, we're all done with that bit now. And so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to score from that knobbly line down to that corner. So you can see I've got a score line there and a score line there, and I'm going to create a diagonal line, and I'm going to do it all the way along. and really hope I can see. I might have to just bend a couple of score lines just because I'm really confused as to what the light is actually trying to do. You know what, I'm going to quickly run along and just bend them with my fingers. I'm not burnishing them yet. I will come back and do that in a second because otherwise I'm going to struggle to see. It's a beautiful sunny day, but it casts shadow, and obviously because I've got a camera right above my head, I can't get in there and look and see. So hopefully that's going to be better for me to see. It is, hurrah! So can you see that first score line? So I'm not making a triangle, so we're not going in both directions, just one. So I'm going to run along and do all of those. This is very much a gift box. This is, you know, you're not going to make 100 of these unless you were being commissioned and you were being paid well. But this is a statement piece in its own right. It's the gift that keeps on giving. You give the gift with inside the box and you keep the box. I'm so not the only person who does that, am I? Please nod along. Please leave a comment if you also keep pretty boxes that stuff comes in. Okay, so all the way along. So what I'm now going to do is I'm going to trim... No, I'm going to burnish. That's my train of thought. I'm going to drop my bone fold. So I'm now going to properly fold and burnish because I just quickly did it. So just the straight ones at this stage. And do burnish well with a bit of oomph behind you, because if you do not burnish well, then you will find that the box isn't going to stay shut. It's going to go, yeah, I ain't so sure about that. Oh, email. Okay, so that's all my vertical lines. That's my bottom and the bit at the top. Okay, so before I come to those, I'm just going to get rid of a little bit. So you can see we've got a slightly thinner part here. Whiz that off. And then just cut straight up these vertical lines. So you're going to end up with 10 little rectangles. I wonder how long this video is going to be. I have no idea. This could be really quick. I could end up surprising myself. Or it could be really long. I'm not sure. Okay, and then around here at the top, just take a little, just a little section off, not huge amounts. Oh, the scrap paper's making my brain ache. You know me, I can't be messy. Okay, so now we've got these diagonal lines. We need to come and score those, and you need to fold them in. Okay, so I'm folding it in like that, and you need to get in with your bone folder. And it's not the easiest to show because it wants to come over. So get in with your bone folder and push really well, because that will make the difference as to whether it closes or not. And keep coming along. Actually, you know what, it might be easier if I start at this end. Probably will. Okay, so push really well. And it won't go any further down because you've got a score line there, so don't worry about that. So I'm putting quite a bit of force. I don't know if you can see, I've got, oh, you can see on my knuckle. It's gone a bit white because I'm putting force on. Trust me, that is vital. I've got a prototype somewhere of this when I was first making it. I didn't want to play the game, but I hadn't pushed hard enough. Last few. See, this was the point when I was thinking, well, I'll show you one or two and then I'll stop and come back. But to me, it's important that I show you real time. And you can see how, you know, whether you want to invest how much time it is to make it. At the moment, 10 minutes. Oh, that's quite good actually. It could have been worse. Could have been 20 at this stage. Okay, so we are all done. Okay, so just come along and just remind those vertical score lines which direction you're going in, because they will have gone back on themselves. Here's the fun part. Get some glue down here, so I'm going to use my tear and tape. At the time of filming, Fast Fuse refills had sold out, and the Fast Fuse was still hanging about, but I don't know how much longer for. But I'm getting myself back into using tear and tape. And then because there's an equal number of sides, you can actually push it flat onto your worktop. Okay, here's where the fun starts. Just push. The first time you do this, it's going to go, I don't want to fold in that direction. And it's going to resist, but once you've done it a couple of times and told the cardstock, no, 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 this is the way you go, it will be fine. So once you've got the first one, you've done it the first time, it will be easy. So this looks a bit complicated, I promise you it's not. Fold over. But you kind of almost need there. Oh, I was nearly there. There we go. So you need to have the top in place to be able to do the bottom. So that's holding itself closed now. Let me find the back. I've done such a neat fold, I can't actually see the back. There it is. So that is the back. And this is where your liquid glue is going to come into play. So we're going to leave these ones at the back till last. Grab your liquid glue. And then starting sort of kind of left to right, just fold over. And you do want liquid glue for this. Because you need wibblage room. That is such a technical phrase, isn't it? Wibblage room. And once you've got the first four, and hopefully you can see this top one is lined up and the one underneath it is lined up, so I'm just holding it for a few seconds. And these three are the back. So these are the ones you want to bring in last. And because it's wet glue, you can still manoeuvre it about. So I'm just going to hold that for a second. Oh, I wibbled it. So my 10 sides are there. It's closed up, and I'm actually rubbing it to let the glue dry. And that is what you do. So 10 sides, twist and close, and you can see it now pops in and out easily because I've shown it what to do the first time. Okay, look, 13 minutes 29 seconds to make the box. Let's do a little bit of stamping. Now I'm going to give you a tip here because this one keeps twanging off, which is not good. I don't remember what size I made it. I didn't actually write that measurement down. So 2.5 inches, 6.5 centimetres by 1 inch. So what's that? 2.5 by 1 inch. Let me grab my trimmer. Grab a scrap of whisk white. So about 2.5 by 6.5 centimetres. That's the sort of size you want. I'm going to hang on to that bit as well. Come back in with my Call Me Clover. Oh, such a cute name, Call Me Clover. Straight over the top. And then I did put basic black, but I'm not going to on this one. I'm just going to pull out Hello Friend. I'm just going to go all green. Be all green, why not? Onto there, and then I want my plastic label punch. I'm going to offset it to the left so I can put a rhinestone on. Oh, can I grab my rhinestone without whacking the tripod? Let's have a go. Yes, I can. Oops. still using up my old rhinestones. Clearly I stockpiled. Onto there. And then my tip with this, make it curl, because otherwise it's going to keep twanging off like that, because it's obviously going round a corner. So do that. And this one as well, because it will follow. I want the edge of some dimensionals that have flipped up, and you see the cats love them. My little tinker kittens, what do they keep doing? I found some on my bedroom floor the other day and I thought, what are these doing in here? And then out from under the bed came Sorrel, who is my Savannah, having a good game. She was playing with them. Little tinker. Okay, and then onto there, we'll get some fuse. Plenty of fuse. There's the back of the box. And just wrap it round. And that, in 16 minutes, 13 seconds, woohoo! I'm a happy girl, is how to make a 10-sided twist and close box. And it's, let me tell you what the dimensions across are. So it's about 3 1/4 inches, 3.5 inches. That's pretty good. So what's that in metric? So it's about 8.5 centimetres, and how tall at that point? 4 inches at that point, 10 centimetres. Whopper box! Hope you like it and love it as much as I do. Like I say, loads of twist and close boxes on my blog. 6 sides, 4 sides, 5 sides, 3 sides. I believe there might be an 8-sided. There's tall ones, thin ones, short ones. Oh, loads of them. First 10-sided box though. Anyway, keep turning off my phone as an alarm reminder to pick up my children from school. Chris is getting them. Thank you ever so much for joining me. Hope to speak to you soon. Bye.